Hello, my first grade friends. It's Mrs. Sullivan here. I am here to talk to you about your first computer lesson that will be happening via video. So I am recording my lesson just like when we used to be together on Zoom, and I would explain things to you about what your lesson for computer class would be, and then you'd go and try and do it. This is your recording explaining your lesson today. The good thing about a recording, boys and girls, is you can watch it again, or you can even rewind it a little bit if you miss something and you need to hear it again. So the recording will be placed in your classroom teacher's Google Classroom, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. Okay, so here, boys and girls, is just an example. I know everyone doesn't have Miss Fusillo in first grade, but I have her class first on Monday morning, so or I used to have them first on Monday mornings. So I used her class as an example. But wherever your teacher's Google Classroom is, you would access that and go to classwork. And you will see folders set up, boys and girls, with each of your specials, because all your specials are being recorded now. So as you can see, Miss Fusillo's class has computers on Mondays. You might have computers on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays or Fridays, just like you did before break. So underneath that little computer icon, that little picture, you'll see week of January 4th. That's this week. So whatever day you have computer special, you will find this lesson in your teacher's Google Classroom. You will click on that orange box and it will take you to your lesson. The name of your lesson, boys and girls, is Design Your Own Treehouse. But there are a couple of words, computer words, that we're going to talk about while you're doing this activity, which I think you will enjoy. So the first step, boys and girls, when you open this up, is to click here to watch the video. And as you can see, you're watching the video right now with me, but this is how you watch it. You would click right here to get there. And then it says, go to slide number 2. I have a box here, boys and girls, and I want to talk a little bit about that with you, because later in this lesson, you're going to be filling in some blanks and helping to write a story about the treehouse that you build. And so we're going to talk a little bit about something called a text box. So I have set up on your slide number 4 a little story, and you're going to fill in the blanks about your treehouse. And you're going to click on each blank, and when you do, a blue box shows up. That, boys and girls, is a text box. So let me go back to the first slide and show you. So if I click in here, you can see right away a blue box opens up. That is called a text box. The word text, boys and girls, means words. So if I was to type in a little message to you in the text box, I just use my keyboard and the letters show up inside the box. So text means words. The letters, boys and girls, on a computer can be called a font. And a font is just the style of letters that you use. So we have a text box that we're going to be using today, and the letters inside of it, the different styles, are called fonts. So those are your 2 new computer words today, boys and girls. All right, so after you're done watching my lesson, boys and girls, you'll come here, you'll go to slide number 2. It says, Design Your Own Treehouse. Click on the next slide to design 3 tree houses. When you are done, go to slide number 3 and tell me which one, actually that should say slide number 4. Boys and girls, I'm going to edit that right now. It's on slide number 4 now. And tell me which one you think came out the best. Be sure to describe it with some details. Who was it built for? What kind of a tree house was it? Because when you're building it at the very beginning, they're going to tell you what the customer wants in his treehouse. Is it wacky? Is it comfortable? Is it peaceful? Is it fancy? What color was the outside of the treehouse? What did you put inside the treehouse? And you're going to fill in the blanks to tell me all about it. Don't worry, boys and girls, if your words are not right on the blank lines, and don't worry if they look a little bit smaller than the other letters do. That's just the font size, and we're not going to worry about that today. Okay, so we're going to go visit our friend Arthur. This is slide number 3, boys and girls, and slide number 3 is where you're going to go to build your treehouse. It says, be sure to click the picture Then click the link at the bottom to go to the activity. Put myself over here in this corner, and here we go with Treehouse Designer. Let me share my sound with you, and I'm going to press play. This is Arthur, boys and girls, and all of the characters in Treehouse Designer are from the storybooks of Arthur.
My friends and I are creating some tree houses, and we need your help.
So as you can see, there are 3 tree houses here. You're going to build 3 tree houses too. You're going to press go. This is the fun part.
I want a tree house that is friendly. Let's make that part of your design.
So boys and girls, the word that the character gives you to help you design the treehouse is a word that describes the kind of treehouse that he wants. A describing word is called an adjective, which is a very big long word. But when you're writing sentences and you put adjectives in them, it makes the sentence sound fancy. Like I could say, this is Arthur. And that's a sentence, it's okay. But if I said, this is the friendly character named Arthur, right away I get a picture in my brain of this character being a nice, friendly person, or aardvark, I guess he is. So adjectives help jazz up your sentences a little bit. All right, so we're making a friendly treehouse, boys and girls. I'm going to press go.
Drag items to the treehouse. When you're finished, tap done.
So remember, boys and girls, to start, you're doing the inside of the treehouse. And when you're done with the inside and you press done, you're going to decorate the outside of the treehouse. Down in this corner, it shows you who you're building it for, one of the Arthur characters, and this happens to be Arthur himself, and the type of treehouse that he wants. He wants a friendly treehouse. So the first tab up here, boys and girls, these are all chairs. And I think that if I'm having a friendly treehouse, I might want to put a couch in so that me and my friends—
That will make the treehouse friendly.
We could sit together. I might also put a table in case we want to play some games together because we're trying to be friendly. You don't want to put too much stuff in your treehouse though, boys and girls, because you want to have a little bit of space to kind of move around your treehouse. All right, here's my second tab. It's the green one. It looks like a soccer ball. And I'm going to look at my pictures and think, well, what would be friendly? Ooh, maybe a game, because we could play a game together. That would be a friendly choice. Or maybe I would put a bowl of fruit on the table too, because we could share the food. That would be a friendly thing to do. My blue tab, boys and girls, has things like lights and mirrors and pictures and balloons. Balloons are fun. They make me think of friends. And maybe I'll put a set of lights up here so we can see each other and we can see what we're doing. And I think that's good. And the last tab, I have a little alarm clock. It's the orange tab. That one, as you can see, has smaller items like fans and cups and some toys and some books. Now, I like to read books. Maybe my friends will too. So here's a whole stack of books that we can share. So I have the inside of my treehouse pretty much set. And I don't know if you noticed, but when you click on something, if you look to the side, you're going to see a little X. And that would erase the item. So if you put something in here and then you change your mind and you don't like it, you just click it and it will go away. It's like your eraser. When you're ready, you press done.
Nice work. You made my treehouse friendly. Now let's decorate the outside of the treehouse.
So now, boys and girls, we're going to do the outside of the treehouse. I'm going to press go. And you're going to see this treehouse with lots of signs over here and lots of colors. And we're going to try and design the outside to look fancy. So I think something friendly, remember my word for this treehouse was friendly, would be come on in. I want to invite everybody to come into the treehouse. That's a friendly thing to say. Or maybe I'd like to say welcome. That's a friendly thing to say too. Now I'm going to paint my treehouse. So I can make it red or blue. I think I like yellow. Now let's see what the second tab is. Oh, it's lights. Lights are always pretty. I'm going to hang up some lights. And there's lots of different colored lights. Some of them go across. Some of them go up and down. There we go. And then my last tab, boys and girls, has other kind of fun things to play around with. So maybe I'll put some flowers because that looks friendly. And maybe I'll put a little pink flamingo in there. There we go. I'm going to press done.
Muffy wants a treehouse that is funky.
Okay,
Let's
so
make
now
that part of your design.
they're sending me to the second treehouse, and this is Muffy, and Muffy wants a funky, fun treehouse. So I'd press go, I would design treehouse number 2, and then treehouse number 3. When you're all done, they're going to show you all 3 of those treehouses, and that is when you decide which one is your favorite. Now, let's pretend I'm all done. I'm going to close Arthur, and I'm going to come back to my Google Slides. Now I'm going to go to slide number 4. It has a title. It says The Best Treehouse. And it says, I made a treehouse for, and I'm going to click in the blank and pick one of the characters. And since I built the first treehouse for Arthur, I'm going to put Arthur in my text box. Notice that I clicked, the blue box came out, and then I just typed in Arthur's name. And it's okay if you don't know how to spell all the words, boys and girls, just do your best. You don't have to ask your grown-up, how do I spell, how do I spell? Just sound it out. And then the second sentence says, it was, and he wanted me to make it friendly. So I click to make my text box, and then I type in my word. And again, don't worry if the word is a little bit smaller than the other words, that is fine. My third sentence says, it had blank and blank on the inside. So let me see if I can remember. I think it had a couch and a game, a board game on the inside. And it was yellow on the outside. You can put whatever color you painted your treehouse. It was my best treehouse because, now this part, boys and girls, I think it's going to be easier for you if you click on the bottom line instead of this line over here. It'll just give you a little more space to write your answer. So it was my best treehouse because I like to invite my friends to my friendly treehouse. And there we go. Period at the end of our sentence. So you're going to do a little practicing with your keyboard today, boys and girls, in real life, because you're going to be tapping out lots of letters and making sentences. And this last sentence, if you want, you can even practice putting in a period, which is on the bottom row of your keyboard, right next to the question mark. When you are done with the story, boys and girls, the next job you have is to show it to me. And since we're not in school together, you have to share it in the Google Classroom. So the way you do that is you close it with the X. Remember, step 1 is to close it. Step 2 is to view it, V for view for step 2. And step 3 is to press turn in. So close, view, turn in. And that is all you need to do to show me your work. And I can't wait to read your stories about the best treehouse that you were able to make for one of Arthur's friends. And remember, boys and girls, you can always rewind the tape, and rewind the video rather, and watch Mrs. Sullivan again, or back it up just a little bit if you couldn't remember something that I said. All right, I hope you enjoy making those tree houses, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.